Okay, so how many racks did you put in this thing?
3 so far.
And how many pumps?
6, 7 pumps.
Okay, so the problem is, you know that Ford does not manufacture parts for cars that are 10 years old now. So you can't get new parts. So you have to get good reman parts. The other problem is, these things are a problem when you're bleeding the power steering. Some of these cars are noisy for the factory. Old Fords, it's an old Ford thing. If you've worked on old Fords, you know it's an old Ford thing. So what's the trick here? Where do we do it?
So the trick is to get the front 2 tires off the floor, and then you want to unplug the, we unplugged the coil pack and took out the use pump fuse. And then what we would do is we would crank the car for 15 seconds while turning the steering wheel slowly, and then have a jumper cable to it so you don't drain the battery. And then you give it a minute rest so you don't overheat the starter. And then you come back a minute later to crank the car again and turn the steering wheel slowly right to left within the 15 seconds. And you just wait for it, and you also give more time. And if you have to go for a 3rd round because there's more bubbles, and go for a 3rd round. But you also want to wait intervals because you don't want the bubbles to become too small. You want them to accumulate together, or it's going to be harder to get rid of the bubbles in the system. And you're just going to have a noisy pump, and the pump we might not have power steering.
Or it's going to cavitate in the pump. It's going to shit the pump too.
Yep.
So you have a problem with bad remanufacturing, not being able to get new parts, and then doing the repair and bleeding procedure wrong. So it's fucking hell in a handbasket if you're not careful what you're doing, right?
Yep.
Okay.